This tutorial is to create a new critical incident. When you log in, you come to your home page, and from your home page there's two ways to enter a new critical incident form. One is to go to the navigation tab and hover over it, and then you see the subgroup of incidents below. I would like to create a new critical incident. I could click this button here. That would be option 1. Or I could also use one of these buttons here, the hot buttons or big buttons. I'm going to go ahead and click this one for you so you can see as we enter into the form. Once we enter into the form, you'll notice an area of green here. It's not filled out, but this information will be filled out as we go further into the system. Once we save the document, these things go towards reporting in the future. It's like a timestamp or a tattoo for the report itself. You'll notice that where it says create new critical incident here. The organization, we have a demo site set up called Fresh Start Behavioral Health Center. The site of the incident, these are preloaded fields that have been set up when we did set the demo site up for you. As we type in the demographics, you'll notice there are various fields along the way. We can tab or mouse click through them and type the information in as we go. You'll notice there's various types of fields. Some of them are date boxes, some of them are text boxes, and others are drop-down fields, as in this one, where you would choose the race, their gender, and even as the system remembers the different physicians that you key in, that those would come up too, as in a drop-down box would as well. Your primary insurance carriers, the type and diagnosis, whether it be medical or mental health and development disability codes, those would come up here as we search for them. So depending on the code, they're all loaded in the system. You can type in the CPT number or the actual developmental disability code, mental health code, or medical diagnosis code. As we go further into it, you'll notice this is broken up in sections. So we have the demographics here for the patient, then we have the details of the critical incident, and this goes into the actual medical documentation that the nurse, the social worker, or the employee of the agency or organization needs to document each one. So you'll notice that there's the date, the time, location. You'll also notice that the type of critical incident, as it being a level 1, level 2, and level 3 incidents, we have various check boxes to make this easy for you to mark either one or multiple ones. Medication errors, for example, if that was our problem, I would go ahead and click that box, and automatically the highest level clicked is going to be a level 2, which is going to be very important in reporting this particular incident. We would want to list the people involved, the witnesses of the incident, the description of the incidents, whether the patient was given medications or not. There's a lot of information that's collected. If you say yes to the question, you'll notice the text box appears just like that. If you answer no, nothing pops up and you just move on down the line. We do have a feature that we're very excited to show you, and this is if the client or patient, consumer, whatever your terminology is over at your particular organization, if your client does get hurt, we do have a body field that pops up. So if you'll notice if they busted their knees open because they slipped on the sidewalk outside, and various areas of the body are hurt, you can notice that as you hover it over it, you can go ahead and click that area, just as I did the knees here, to mark the area of injury. You can of course, type in the text box the details of that injury. You notice that this is the front of the body and this is the back of the body, and as we choose the various sites, they begin being listed here on the right. If they're seen by a physician, if you have to send them to the hospital, emergency room, urgent care clinic, You might want to, of course, document what the occurrence was and what the recommendations were, what took place at that visit. That would go here. And then if there's a follow-up required or requested, you would say yes, which would help you track your patient's outcomes and follow up on your patients as appropriate. For those people that you've notified, of course, this needs to be documented somewhere, and so we've made a place here for you to, maybe you called the adolescent's parent because they slipped outside, or you needed to call the doctor because there was a major medication error or so forth. You can add you can add more than one, as many as you need. We'll go ahead and all you have to do is click this button and those fields will appear. And then also you have this as well. This is a very important one, especially to follow up, to maybe help your site get accredited. Maybe you're pursuing accreditation, maybe you're trying to keep your accreditation. This is going to describe your reaction to the critical incident. What are the corrective measures that have been put in place? What are the things that you're doing to prevent these things from happening down the road? Very important information for the manager, for the supervisor, for the owners of the organization. As you finish the form, when you're ready, you either save it if you need to come back to it. You can save it and submit it if you have completed this. When you click this save button, it will archive it and save it as pending or incomplete. But if you click this one, save and submit, you're actually going to submit this by fax or email to the regulatory agencies of your area. And so when that happens, it's going to go there. You have now not only saved it in the system, not only archived it in the system for reporting purposes and for future review, but you've also submitted it to the reporting agency and the case is closed. Then a final report will be printed or saved as a PDF, and it'll always be available anytime you need to print multiple copies or save multiple copies in various places. So keep that in mind in the future. This concludes our tutorial on submitting a new critical incident. Thank you for using Convergent Solutions.